Welcome to my channel. In today's lesson, I want to share something very personal and very important, how learning English completely changed my life. When I first moved to London, I honestly felt lost. I could not understand people, I could not express myself, and sometimes I felt embarrassed or isolated. Even simple things like ordering food, asking for directions, or talking to people felt like a big challenge. But instead of giving up, I made a promise to myself. I will learn English and I will change my life. And that's exactly what happened. In the next few minutes, I will show you step by step how I improved my English in just 5 months, the methods I used, the mistakes I made, and the simple habits that helped me go from struggling to speaking with confidence. If you are also learning English or if you ever feel shy or scared to speak, this lesson is for you. Because if I could do it, you can do it too. How I learned English in 5 months, my complete journey. When people hear that I learned English in just 5 months, their first reaction is usually surprise. Some ask me if I went to an expensive school, if I had a private tutor, or if I had some kind of gift for languages. And every time I smile because the truth is the opposite. I didn't have money for private lessons. I didn't have perfect grammar. I didn't have confidence. And I definitely didn't have talent. What I had was a dream. I dream of building a new life, of being able to express myself, of belonging somewhere, even in a place far from home. This is the story of how I learned English in 5 months, step by step, honestly and simply. Month 1, starting from zero, the foundation. When I first arrived in London, everything felt fast. People walked fast, talked fast, thought fast, and I didn't understand them. I remember my first week so clearly. Someone asked me on the street, "Do you know where the station is?" And I completely froze. Not because I didn't know the station, but because I didn't understand the question. I hurt my confidence. So in month 1, I decided to build the basics. No pressure, no perfection, just survival English. What I did, learned essential phrases I could use right away, watched short, simple English videos, repeated sentences out loud every day. Changed all my phone settings, apps, and social media to English. Wrote new words in a small notebook I carried everywhere. How I felt. At first, I was embarrassed. I hated making mistakes, but I realized that language is not learned in silence. Language is learned by trying, failing, laughing at yourself, and trying again. Month 2, expanding vocabulary, learning words that matter. Month 2 was all about growing, not learning every English word, not memorizing random vocabulary, but learning the words I actually needed in my real life. If I learned a word today, I wanted to use it tomorrow. My method: learn what you need, ignore what you don't. What I did: learned 20 to 30 useful words a day. Created 3 example sentences for each new word. Listened to English conversations on the bus, in cafes, in shops. Wrote down everything I didn't understand. Learned phrases, not just words. For example, instead of learning plate, knife, fork, spoon, I learned phrases like, "Can I get this to take away? Is this seat taken? Can you recommend something?" The magic moment when I realized I could understand conversations around me, not everything, but enough to follow the topic. That small progress felt huge. Month 3, speaking without fear, the month that changed everything. This was the hardest month, but the most important. I promised myself every day I will speak English, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And that promise changed everything. What I did, joined language exchange meetups, spoke to strangers politely, recorded voice messages to myself and listened back. Described everything around me in English, stopped worrying about sounding perfect. What improved the fastest? My confidence. The more I spoke, the less fear I felt. I stopped translating in my head and started thinking in simple English. A breakthrough moment. One day I ordered food at a restaurant and had a full conversation with the waiter. When I walked out, I felt like I had won a medal. It was a small moment, but it meant everything. Month 4 Fixing Mistakes Understanding Real English. By month 4, I could speak, but I made many mistakes. My grammar wasn't perfect. I struggled with fast English and different accents. So I focused on improvement, not perfection. What I did, studied only important grammar, present, past, future, watched interviews, podcasts, and blogs. Paused videos, repeated sentences, shadowed pronunciation, asked native speakers to correct me politely, watched the same video many times until I understood everything. What I realized, grammar doesn't make you fluent, speaking makes you fluent. Grammar just makes you clearer. Month 5 Total Immersion Living in English. This month felt different. I wasn't studying English anymore. I was living in English. This was the month where my brain switched into English mode. What I did, no subtitles, no translation to my native language. Spoke English every single day, used natural expressions actually. Basically, let me think, Practiced real tasks, making phone calls, asking for help, giving directions, explaining things, surrounded myself with English podcasts, videos, conversations, books, science, and people. The moment I realized I was fluent, one morning I woke up and my first thought was in English, not translated, just natural. That was the moment I knew I had learned English. If you are learning English right now and you feel frustrated, if you feel slow, if you feel shy, if you feel like you will never be fluent, please remember something. I started exactly where you are, confused, shy, embarrassed, and overwhelmed. But step by step, day by day, word by word, conversation by conversation, I improved, I grew, and I changed. If I can do it, you can too. Your English doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be practiced every single day. Thank you, my dear subscriber, for being here with me. Your support means everything to me. I hope this story touched your heart. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, keep growing, and never stop believing in the power of consistent daily action. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.